Daybreak, back with Dr. Brad Schwall from the center, and we've been trying to unpack sort of the trauma and the experiences from yesterday's high school shooting in Arlington. As we were mentioning, there's no school today. Everyone's kind of going to take a little break today, but they will be re-entering the building where the trauma happened. So I'm wondering how to move through fear and anxiety, feelings of stress, whether you're a student or a staff member walking into that building, whether it's tomorrow or next week.
Absolutely. So obviously there's reminders of what happened, and those are triggers with trauma. Certainly as kids are entering back into school, I know that school districts do such a great job of giving opportunities to process, remembering that normally we are safe. I think also validating that feeling. So we don't want to say, oh, don't be afraid. We want to say, yeah, I can understand why you might be afraid. And that was very scary. That was frightening. It was horrible that you went through that. And so that validation really helps in helping the student accept that feeling, and by accepting that feeling, we are able to move back in. All of our kids are different. Every child has a different temperament. Every child also is facing their own circumstances. So I think it's also important to really customize, personalize our approach with each child as they do get back into the classroom and get back to life as normal.
Do you recommend writing as a way to process? Because I think speaking is one thing, right? You speak with a counselor, for instance, and counseling services, as we know, are being offered at the school. But what about writing?
Yes, most definitely. So we do write, and we can think about what our feelings are. Sometimes that helps us to clarify what those feelings are. Counseling is key, and so I always encourage people to be open to counseling, of course, but with students being more intentional, and even if they're a little hesitant, giving that encouragement, because if there is some trauma, we want to help them process that in a guided, responsible way that is healthy and safe. So certainly talking to our child and saying if it might be helpful to write down what you're feeling, do that. But the idea is integration between what we've experienced, what our feelings are, what our fears are, and then moving to be accepting and also feeling safe again.
Yeah, getting to that acceptance. And you mentioned a key word, integration, and integration always takes time.
Right.
Dr. Schwall, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today. By the way, those counseling services that I mentioned will be offered both in person and online. You can log on to WFAA.com for more details on that. All right, we're going to send things back inside to meteorologist